No. No.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yeah. Shh. Okay.
If you weren't so fresh.
Ruth, I'm 20 years old.
What time you be home from school today?
Kind of late. Madeline is gonna start with my guitar lessons today.
Oh, Father. Your what kind of lessons?
Guitar?
How come you done taking it in your mind to learn to play the guitar?
I just want to, that's all.
Lord, child, don't you know what to do with yourself? How long it gonna be before you get tired of this now? Like you got tired of that little play acting group you joined last year? What was it before that?
The horseback riding club for which she spent that $55 riding habit for that's been sitting in the closet ever since.
Why you gotta flip from one thing to another, baby?
I just want to learn to play the guitar. Is there anything wrong with that?
Ain't nobody trying to stop you. I just wonder sometimes why you has to flip from one thing to another all the time.
I don't flip.
Don't you interrupt me.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I don't flip. I experiment with different forms of expression.
Like riding a horse?
People have to express themselves one way or another.
What is it you want to express?
Me. Don't worry, I don't expect you to understand.
Who you going out with tomorrow night?
George Murchison again.
You're getting sweet on him.
You asked me this child and sweet on nobody but herself. Express herself.
Oh, I like George alright, Mama. I mean, I like him enough to go out with him and stuff, but
What does and stuff mean?
mind your own business.
Stop picking at her now, Ruth. What does it mean?
Oh, I just mean I couldn't ever really be serious about George. He's so shallow.
Shallow? What do you mean he's shallow? He's rich.
Hush, Ruth.
I know he's rich. He knows he's rich too.
Well, what other qualities a man gotta have to satisfy you, little girl?
You wouldn't even begin to understand. Anybody who married Walter could not possibly understand.
What kind of way is that to talk about your brother?
Brother is a flip, let's face it.
What's a flip?
She said he's crazy.
Not crazy. Brother isn't really crazy yet. He's elaborate and neurotic.
Hush your mouth.
As for George, well, George looks good. He got a beautiful car and he takes me to nice places. And as my sister-in-law says, he's probably the richest boy I will ever get to know. And I even like him sometimes. But if the youngers are sitting around waiting to see if their little Benny is going to tie up the family with the Murchisons, they're wasting their time.
You mean you wouldn't marry George Murchison if he asked you someday? That pretty rich thing? Honey, I knew you was odd.
No, I wouldn't marry him if all I felt for him was what I feel now. Besides, George's family isn't really like it.
Why not?
Oh, Mama, the Murchisons are honest to good, God, real, live, rich, colored people. And the only people in the world who are more snobbish than rich white people are rich colored people. I thought everybody knew that. I met Miss Murchison. She's a scene.
You must not dislike people because they well off, honey.
Why not? It makes just as much sense as disliking people because they are poor, and lots of people do that.
Well, she'll get over some of that.
Get over it? What are you talking about, Ruth? Listen, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm not worried about who I'm going to marry yet, if I ever get married.
If.
Now, Benny.
Oh, I probably will, but first I'm going to be a doctor, and George, for one, still thinks that's pretty funny. I couldn't be bothered by that. I'm going to be a doctor, and everyone around here better understand that.
Of course you better be a doctor, honey. God willing.
God hasn't got a thing to do with it.
Benita, that just wasn't necessary.
Well, neither is God. I'm sick of hearing about God.
Benita!
I mean it. I'm just tired of hearing about God all the time. What's he got to do with anything? Does he pay tuition?
You about to get your fresh little jaw slapped.
That's just what she needs, all right.
Why? Why can't I say what I want around here like everybody else?
It don't sound nice for a young girl to say things like that. You wasn't brought up that way. Me and your father went to trouble to get you and your brother to church every Sunday.
Mama, you don't understand. It's all a matter of ideas, and God is just one idea I don't accept. It's not important. I'm not going out to be immoral or commit crimes because I don't believe in God. I don't even think about it. It's just that I get tired of him giving credit for all the things the human race achieves through its own stubborn effort. There's simply no blasted God. There's only man, and it is he who makes miracles. That's my face. No, you're supposed to slap me. There you go.
Yay.
Did it, man.
Oh wait, I dropped.
Now you say after me. In my mother's house, there is still God.
In my mother's house, there's still God.
There are some ideas we ain't gonna have in this house. Not as long as I'm head of this family.
Yes, ma'am.
Yay.
You think you're a woman, Benny, but you still a little girl. What you did was childish, so you got treated like a child.
I see. I also see that everyone thinks it's alright for Mama to be a tyrant. But all the tyranny in the world will never put up a God in the heavens.
Me bruise my children.
You got good children, Lena. They're just little off sometimes, but they're good.
No, there's something come down between me and them that don't let us understand each other. And I don't know what it is. One done almost lost his mind thinking about money all the time, and the other done commenced to talk about things I can't seem to understand in no form or fashion. What is it that's changing, Ruth?
Now, you're taking it all too seriously. You just got strong little children, and it takes a strong woman to, like you, to keep them like that.
They spirited all right, my children. Got to admit, they spirit. Benny and Walter, like this little, ain't never had enough sunshine or nothing to look at.
You sure loves that old thing, don't you?
Well, I always wanted me a garden like what I used to see sometimes at the back of the houses down home. This plant is closest as I ever got to having one. Why ain't you singing this morning, Ruth? Sing that, No Ways Tired. That song always lifts me up.